Okay, ladies, I'm so excited to have you all here with us tonight for the August Sturgeon full moon. We are going to start with our yoga practice, and a big part of the practice will be focused on our second and third chakras. So our sacral and solar plexus chakras, which carry the energy of feminine, creativity, authenticity, intuition, empowerment. A lot of women really struggle with these power centers specifically. So I'm really excited that this full moon is focusing so much on really stirring up. The names, Sturgeon get their name, Christen will talk about, from stirring up dirt and sand and mud. So we really are going to focus a lot on stirring up our mid centers. You guys know drunk cat cows in our future. For those of you who have done yoga with me before, we're definitely hitting some drunk cat cow tonight. So I'm really excited. Let's hop on our mat. Like I said, grab any supports you feel you might need, blanket, pillow, anything for under your knees. And we are going to begin with a nice breath practice, as usual. And we're also going to introduce a nice hasta mudra, so a hand gesture, into tonight's practice. So our hand gesture is going to invoke our energies of letting go and pouring out. It's really going to invite an opportunity to kind of cleanse and clear out the subtle energy centers and kind of, create some more space to release and really focus on, not so much the manifestation part of it, because that's more a new moon focus, but with the full moon, it's really coming into our fullest, truest, most beautiful, whole, feminine self. So that's what we're going to do, and I'm really excited. So get a nice, comfortable seated position. Maybe that's cross-legged pose like this. Maybe this has hurt your knees, so you like to have your legs extended. So we're going to be here for, a few minutes. So find a nice, comfortable seated position for yourself. I would encourage you to put your hands on your bottom. You can kind of rock your weight forward and kind of pull your tushy meat, your big booty Judy, your glutes out of the way and really root and ground down through those sit bones of yours. Perfect. Bring our hands to heart center. For this hasta mudra, we are going to begin by interlacing all of our fingers except for our pointer fingers. And we'll also cross our thumbs. We'll put the left first and the right crosses over top, which is opposite for me. It feels really weird. Usually I cross it the other way. So just give you all a heads up. So really quick, kind of push your pointer fingers together and just take a look down. And there should be a little hollow kind of hole, opening between your hands. It doesn't need to be giant by any means. You don't need to be like pushing your fingers together, like straining, but just kind of notice and make sure there's a nice opening there to pour out through. From here, your fingers are going to point down. So to keep this comfortable in my wrists and my body, my hands come down. I'm not keeping them up at my heart center here. They're coming down like this. So find where it's comfortable for you. We're going to take a big inhale, straighten up through each vertebrae in our spine, crown grows closer to the sky. Exhale, close your eyes and wiggle in your sit bones that you just rooted and grounded down in. Take another big inhale and exhale, not counting our breaths right now, but just kind of rooting and grounding in, calming our minds, calming our bodies, before we bring in just a nice, gentle exhale focused breath practice. So just noticing our breath practice here, slowing our breath, slowing our mind. And on your next exhale, gently draw in your belly button just in towards your spine a little bit and exhaling to maybe a 4 count or a 5 count, whatever's comfortable for you. And a gentle inhale for maybe a 3 count if you did a 4 exhale, or a 4 count inhale if you did a 5 count exhale. And exhale gently, drawing the belly in and down. Inhaling for 1 count less than your exhale. We're just looking for a little bit longer of an exhale and a focus on that exhale. So the more that your lungs warm up and your mind calms and your body relaxes in, the more likely you'll be able to kind of elongate your inhales and your exhales. So if you're able to do that, start playing with that. And just notice what the space under your hands feels like, your power center, probably where a lot of your hands are, your solar plexus area where our third chakra lies. Do you feel your heart beating there? Do you feel any energy residing there? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I would love to invite you to sigh out on your exhale. If you're not comfortable making a noise, it's totally understandable. Maybe you try it a few times. Maybe you get really into it. Inhale, slow and steady. Nice, gentle exhale relaxes. And just staying with this breath. Losing yourself in this rhythm. And the thought of energy just pouring out of you, releasing, letting go. Using this as an opportunity to relax the tension that comes into our life. And just really tap into ourselves. I'm just going to be here for a few more breath cycles and we'll start our movement practice. On your next exhale, go ahead and gently release your hands. Bring them to the tops of your knees, palms face up, eyes remain closed. Allow your breath to just come back to a natural rhythm. And you're just going to stay here and observe it for a few breath cycles. Notice if your energy feels different. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. On your next exhale, just gently bring your chin towards your chest to bring a stretch in the back of the neck. Inhale, roll your head, left ear towards your left shoulder. Exhale, back of the head towards the upper back body. Inhale, right ear towards the right shoulder, and exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, drawing nice, slow, deep, big circles with the neck. Exhale, chin to chest. We're going to do one more big circle this way, and we're going to switch directions. Just noticing what it feels like in the body to open up and become this vulnerable. We're going to inhale, opposite direction, whatever it feels good to you, switch. Good. Maybe your torso starts to move just a little bit. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. On your next inhale, come back to a neutral spine. You can flip your palms down if that feels more comfortable for you. If you like palms up, that's cool. We're going to just begin to bring a nice sway to the mid-center body. So on an exhale, go ahead and gently sway over to the right. Right elbow comes to the ground a little. Inhale yourself back up and just exhale over to the left. Inhale up. Exhale, sway. Bring your awareness into those chakra areas we talked about. So the solar plexus and the sacral is the space underneath the belly button. And feel the energy that you're stirring up there right now. Good. Flip your palms down if they're not already. And on your next exhale, you're going to gently bring your chest towards your knees and just begin to draw a circle. Exhale your way back. Inhale. Drawing a nice circle with your chest. Shifting your weight into your sit bones. Closing your eyes if this feels nice to you. And make sure we switch directions when we feel good and ready. Stirring up all of the energy. I know I said closing your eyes already, but I'm going to mention it again. Really closing your eyes and visualizing what that energy inside your body is doing, what it's stirring up, what it's looking like. I don't know if you read the questions, I don't know if they stayed in the question box or not, I'm going to check it back in there, but really being vulnerable and seeing what it feels like to truly just open up and love yourself. We're gonna inhale and come back to a neutral spine. From here, we're gonna bring our hands up and over our head. And exhale, go ahead and twist open to the right. Slow and steady, right hand comes behind you. Inhale, hands up and overhead. We're gonna flow here. Exhale, twist open to the left. Left hand comes behind, right comes to the left knee. Inhale, hands up. Make sure there's space between your ears and your shoulders here. You don't want to be squished up. Exhale, twist open to the right. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Maybe your gaze follows. If your eyes are closed, that would be wonderful. If they're not already, I invite you to do so. Inhale and checking in with our energy, allowing our breath to be the dictator of our movement. Inhale up. Exhale, twist open. Let's do one more. Inhale up. Exhale, twist open. Good. Go ahead and come back to neutral. We're going to come to tabletop position from here. So if you've got something to pad your knees, now is the time to grab it. A pillow, a blanket, maybe you're just doubling up your mat. But go ahead and grab that. And also grab, if you're using any kind of block, make sure it's close by. So for tabletop position, we want to have our wrists under our shoulders, our knees under our hips. Feet are directly behind us in two parallel lines. If it feels comfortable for you to have the tops of your feet on the mat, be there. If it feels more stable to have your toes curled under, you can be there too. Totally good. Gazing off the tip of your nose between your pointer fingers. Hands are spread like starfish. So, I mean, it seems like such a simple pose, but there's just so many little checkpoints. Now check in with our back body. We want to make sure our tummy's not drooping and our shoulder blades aren't squeezing together, but we have like nice line from the tip of the tailbone to the crown of our head. From here, we are going to gently shift our weight into our left knee. Inhale, we're going to bring our right knee up. So keep your right knee bent and bring your right heel up towards the ceiling. Good. We're going to exhale and bring it out towards our side like a little fire hydrant. Out towards the side. And we're going to bring it back down to the floor. It's not going to touch though. Now let's bring it back up, heel to the ceiling. Leg out to the side like a fire hydrant and down. So if you notice, we're drawing a circle with our knees. Drawing circles, stirring it up with our knees. Gazing down between the pointer fingers. Let's do one more here. We're going to reverse our circle just a few times. Building heat in the left glute. Circling out. And on your next inhale, you're going to extend your leg out long behind you, pushing out through the heel. You guessed it, we're going to just draw a couple circles here. Doesn't matter which way you go, because you know we're going to go both ways. So just gently start, draw just tiny circles. We're not killing our bodies here. We're very aware of our alignment in our back body. Switch the direction of your circle if you haven't already. And on your next exhale, gently go ahead and bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand, or squeeze it in and plant it in between your hands. That's where we want it to end up. It's a lot easier to bring it up to the side and heel toe it in. If you're using a block, now is the time to grab it and put it under your left hand. We're going to bring our right hand behind our head, gazing down here right now at the big toe. Let's inhale, open up our chest, open up our right elbow to the sky, gazing up to the ceiling. Exhale, gaze comes down, right elbow comes to the left elbow. Inhale up. Closing our eyes if that feels good. Exhale down for a nice extra balance challenge. We're going to do one more of these, ladies. Let's inhale ourselves up. And exhale down. Good. From here, bring your right hand to the top of your right thigh. Go ahead and push yourself up. That block can stay there, or you can kick it out of the way, whatever feels good to you. From here, we're going to heel toe our right foot out just a little bit to create a little bit more space underneath us. We're going to come to a crescent lunge pose. Let's inhale, bring our hands up and overhead. Exhale, gently sink into the front knee, but we really do not want our front knee to come over our front ankle. In crescent lunge pose, this does happen a little bit. We're really trying to open up our hips. In a traditional lunge pose, that does not happen. So I just want you to be mindful of it. I still like to open up space and keep an alignment in my crescent lunge pose because I can. And you can too, whatever feels good for you. That's what I want you to do. Shoulder blades are gliding down the back. Let's bring our hands behind our head. You can interlace the fingers if that feels nice. CEO arms, cool guy arms, what I like to call them. Push the back of your head into your hands and your hands into the back of your head. Help open up your chest, hello, and really focus on pushing out through that solar plexus center, that soft spot between your rib cage. Make sure you're not clenching in with your right toes. Maybe you lift your right toes to make sure that you're nice and rooted down through the center. Beautiful. Let's inhale ourselves back up. Woo. Excellent. From here, we're going to bring our hips even with the long edge of the left mat, the left mat side of the mat. So we're going to pivot on our left knee, bring our left foot behind us, and open up our hips to the long edge of the mat. Arms are going to come out to T here. Let's bend our right elbow, right forearm comes to right thigh. Inhale, extend our left arm up and over towards the opposite wall. You can gaze up towards your left elbow if that feels nice, or down at your right hand if that feels better in your neck. From here, let's inhale, bring our hands back to T. We're going to exhale and open up, bring the left hand behind the body, tuck into your right hip. Right hand extends up and overhead, reaches towards the opposite wall. Again, we want to make sure we have a neck here. We don't want to be squishing up in our upper body. We have a nice elongated neck. Staring at the left inner elbow, if that feels nice. And we're going to flow between these two now. So let's inhale, come back to T. Exhale, bend your right arm. Left arm extends to the opposite wall. Inhale, back to T. Exhale, left hand tucks behind, right hand comes up and over the head by the right ear. Inhale, back to T. Exhale, opening up in the left side body. Inhale and exhale at your own breath right now. For the next 2 or 3 breath cycles, closing your eyes for an extra balance challenge and really allowing yourself to flow in this movement. Maybe you kind of take the pause out of the middle and you just kind of flow in between these two poses here. Good. On your next inhale, let's keep it up to T. We're going to exhale and pivot on our left knee. Again, bring our hips even with the short edge of the mat. We're going to frame our foot and gently begin to heel toe your foot over towards the left wrist. We're going to come to pigeon. You're going to come to the outside of your left calf, pushing out through your left heel. So your hips are probably open up towards the left corner of the mat right now. You really want to try to have them even with the short edge of the mat. So think about pulling your left hip crease back, pushing your right hip crease forward a little bit. If it feels nice for you to gently begin to melt down, feel free to do that. If it feels better for you to be up here and opening up through your center body, do that. If you want an extra challenge, you can always bend your left leg and try to grab your left foot. A little king pigeon that is in your game today. Whatever feels good for you. So we're going to be here for just a few more breath cycles. So we're going to hold this one a little bit longer. So find a place that feels nice for you for a minute, okay? Should be nice hip opening. I'm sorry, glute opening on the right side. From here, we're just going to come back to tabletop position. So go ahead and plant your hands if they're not already. Lift your chest up. Bring your right knee, slide it back even with your left. We're just going to gently shift our hips back and come to child's pose for a little bit of a rest before we move on to our other side. If it feels good to have your hands planted out in front of you, you can be there. If it feels better to have them resting by your ankles, you can be there too. Maybe your forehead's on the mat. Maybe you want to use your hands as a pillow for your forehead. We're going to be in child's pose for about 3 more breath cycles. So again, find something that feels really good for you. Settle in. And for the next couple inhales, I want you to bring all of your awareness into your back body and just gently stretch and awaken the skin on your back body. On each inhale and on each exhale, allow yourself to feel your belly deflate, against your legs. Good. On your next inhale, we're going to come back up to the tabletop position. Go ahead and bring your hands out in front of you. Palms are right underneath the shoulders, ideally. If you have really crappy wrists, I have pretty crappy wrists. If it feels better for you to have a little bit wider of a space here to take some pressure off your wrists, then do that. This is your practice. Alignment is super important, but so is taking care of yourself and your body. So knees under hips. We want our feet in 2 parallel lines behind us. Palms are spread super wide like starfish, pushing into all of our fingerprints here. Shifting our weight into our right knee. Inhale in extending our left knee back and up, or not extending it, keeping it bent, but back and up behind us, pushing the left heel up towards the ceiling. Good. We're going to bring the left foot out towards the side, fire hydrant style. And exhale, gently allow the left knee to come back down, but not rest. Inhale back up, pushing the heel up to the ceiling. Exhale, fire hydrant, left knee comes back down. So we're drawing circles with the knees. Let's do a couple more on this side. If it feels better for you to have your right toes curled under, you can do that. Switch the direction of your circles. Again, probably feeling some awakening in the glutes and lower body. That's great. Good to have a little bit of an awakening, right? Good. From here on your next inhale, let's extend the leg out long now. And you guessed it, we're doing circles, just a few baby ones in one direction. Check in with your belly button, make sure it's syncing up to your spine. Now switch directions if you haven't already. We just want to make sure we're protecting our spine, long line from tip of the head to the tailbone. And on your next exhale, gently bring your foot either between your hands, or you can plant it on the outside of your left hand and heel toe between your hands, whatever feels better. If you used a block on your other side, make sure you can bring it under here now. Bring your right hand, your left hand to the top of your left thigh. Oh, nope, not yet, just kidding. Grab that block if you used it before. Hand's gonna come to the back of your head. We're gonna inhale and open up the chest. Exhale, bring the left elbow back in towards the right elbow. Inhale up, we're gonna do a few more of these. Again, I encourage you to do this at your own breath rate. Exhale, make sure your front knee is not splaying out, but that you have a nice line in the body. Beautiful. Now from here, go ahead and bring your left hand to the top of your left thigh. You're gonna inhale and push yourself up. You can kick the block out of the way if you want. I'm gonna heel toe my left foot out in front of me to open up some space for my nice deep crescent lunge I'm gonna do. Inhale, bring your hands up and overhead. Exhale, gently sink. Check in with your hips. Just like in the pigeon, your hips are probably opening up towards the right corner of the mat. So gently think about pulling your left hip crease back and pushing your right hip crease forward. Imagine putting a big beach ball above your head so you have nice awareness and tension between your hands. Go ahead and bring your hands behind your head. Either interlace your fingers or not, whatever feels good for you. But bring tension and awareness between the hands and the head. This is really going to help you open up your chest. Close your eyes if you want a bit of a balance challenge. Beautiful. Inhaling and exhaling for probably 3 more breath cycles here. So again, we're holding this a little bit longer. Allowing our solar plexus energy to really shine through here. On an inhale, go ahead and gently bring yourself back up to center. We're going to bring our hips even with the right long edge of the mat. So pivot on your right knee. If you need to heel toe your left foot forward a little bit, you can do that. Bring your hands to T. On an exhale, go ahead and gently bend your left elbow, bring your left forearm to the top of your left thigh. Right arm is coming up over your head. You can gaze up at your right elbow if that feels nice, or down. Make sure you have a neck. We don't want to be squishing up in the upper body here. Inhale, bring your hands back to T. Exhale, right hand comes behind the back, tucks into the left hip. Left hand comes up over the head and reaches on to the other side of the wall. We'll stay here for a couple breath cycles and we'll flow in between, closing our eyes if this feels nice. It is a bit of an extra balance challenge. Let's inhale back up to T, warrior two variation. Exhale, bend your left elbow, right hand extends up over to the opposite side. Inhale to T. Exhale, right hand behind, left hand over. Again, move at your own breath right now. Maybe you take the pause out of the middle and you just find this beautiful, nice flow for your body. Close your eyes. Maybe your right toes are tucked under for a little bit more balance. Maybe your eyes are open so you can enjoy this flow a little bit and not have such a balance challenge. Whatever's working for you. We've got just one more in and out here. Good. Bring your hands back to T. Good. We're going to spin our right foot back and behind us. Bring our hips even with the short edge of the mat again. Plant your hands, framing your left foot. Heel toe your left foot over towards your right hand for pigeons. We're going to come to the outside of our left calf, pushing out through our left heel. So our left foot should not be pointed. It should be flexed. So our toes, we should try to have like a 90-degree angle in our heel. This is going to make a big difference in the stretch and our glutes that we get. From here, you can stay up for a few breath cycles and gently begin to melt down. If that feels good, you can stay up and maybe invite that king cobra in, or king pigeon in if that feels nice. We're here for probably 3 or 4 more breath cycles. So sink into what feels good for you. Where are your hips at? Are they opening up towards the right corner of the mat? That's what mine are doing. So I'm pulling my left hip crease back and pushing my right hip crease forward. Beautiful. From here, go ahead and plant your hands if they're not already. We're going to inhale ourselves back up the table, slide your left knee to meet your right. We're going to come find that child's pose again for probably like 5 or 6 breath cycles. So whatever feels good for you. Maybe your big toes are together and your knees are wide. Maybe your knees are together. Whatever feels good in your body, okay? So child's pose is a restorative pose, but it's still an active pose. So we're still aware of our breath, aware of where we can expand on our inhales and maybe sink in a little more on our exhales. Maybe you can wiggle your sit bones down a little bit, maybe not, whatever feels good. On your next inhale, gently bring yourself back up, that tabletop position. Walk your hands back to your knees. So we're going to do camel pose really quickly, just a quick camel. If this is too much on your knees or your back, then I invite you to maybe go into a bridge pose, similar opening in the chest and belly. But it's a little less strenuous on the knees. So bridge is when you're on your back, feet are planted and knees are bent, and you just lift your glutes up and down. So for camel, I'm going to invite you to 3 different variations. So the first one, so we're going to inhale and bring our glutes off of our heels, if they aren't already. We want to have our knees about hip width apart. If you feel comfortable, if they're a little wider, then have them a little wider. It's your practice. So the first variation, we are just going to bring our hands, they're going to be in fists, and they're going to come to our lower back area. Our elbows are not going to be flaring out, but they're going to be pinched back and together. Again, we want to make sure that we're not squished up in the neck here. We have a nice long upper body. On an inhale, just gently begin to push your hands into your body a little bit, not like, driving them in, but just kind of gently giving them some energy and back bending, opening the solar plexus, opening the lower belly. So if this feels good for you, this is a great place to be. Closing our eyes if that feels nice. Inhale and bring yourself back up. The next option is going to be to curl your toes under and bring your hands to your heels. Same story. So this is going to just invite us to a little bit bigger of an opening here. And the next variation that I would offer is to just uncurl your toes. Just to allow, it just, gives you a couple more inches to sink down. in your camel. So find what variation feels good for you. We're gonna be here for like 10 breath cycles total. We've been here for, let's say, like 3 already, 3 or 4. So I'll be here for 5 or 6 more. So I really want you to find where it feels really amazing for you. Make sure your hips or your knees are staying nice and pinched together. Make sure that you have space between your ears and your shoulders, that you're opening up through that mid-center line. Closing our eyes, breathing deep. Remembering all of that loving power and energy we have in us and for ourselves. And on your next inhale, you can gently come up if you haven't already. We're gonna come back down to that child's pose just to find a few restorative breaths. So you go ahead and sink your sit bones back to your heels. If it feels good to extend your legs out or your arms out long, you can do that. If it feels better to have them down by your ankles, you can do that. We'll be here for just a few breath cycles. Maybe it feels good. My body apparently wanted to rock back and forth a little bit. That felt nice for me. So if it feels good for you to kind of, rock back and forth a little bit, if your arms are extended out long, maybe you put your hands and find a little bit of a sway in your upper body. Maybe you're still. Find what feels good. Make it work for yourself. From here, let's gently inhale ourselves back up. We're gonna find that juicy drunk cat cow that I love so much. It's my favorite movement ever. So we're gonna bring our big toes to touch and our knees are gonna go about as wide as the mat. We're gonna walk our hands out about a hand's print distance to help open up the space underneath us. So we're gonna just start with the traditional cat cow so we get our body and the feeling of it a little bit, and then I'll invite some free movement, okay? So on an exhale, we're gently going to round our backs. Tailbone and head curl down. Inhale, drop our bellies. Gaze and tailbone curl up to the sky, the beautiful, glorious full moon. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, belly drops. Let's do one more here with this nice slow cat-cow movement. Now I want to invite you to still move with your breath, but maybe find some bigger movements. Maybe it feels good on an exhale to kind of sink back, and an inhale, scoop yourself up like we were scooping when we started, drawing circles with our chest when we were sitting at the start of our practice. Maybe it feels good for you to just get a little bit more looser in your cat-cow. So move your hips a little bit, moving your chest a little bit. Maybe you find a spot that feels really good that needs to be breathed into a few times. So you hold that spot for 2 or 3 breath cycles. Do that then. We're gonna be here for like 10 more breath cycles. We're gonna be in this juicy pose, stirring up all of this loving energy, this passion for self, this intimacy, and the power to live by that, to show up how we truly love ourselves and feel empowered in that. Not always the easy thing to do as women. Good. Let's do one more big breath in and out here. And on your next exhale, gently come back to that wonderful child's pose. Hips, sit bones to heels for a few breath cycles. Maybe you find that sigh out again. If you did that earlier, that felt nice. On your next inhale, gently, slowly bring yourself back up. You're just gonna swing your feet out to one side and come to your sit bones. We're gently just gonna make our way to our backs. So you can move your blanket or your pillow out of the way. Keep it close if you want to use it as a pillow or to cover up for any reason. I don't know if anybody's cold. It's in some part of the country where it's winter right now. It's so hot. But from here, we're just gently gonna come down one vertebrae at a time. Knees can join you, okay? So the feet will come off the ground. Knees will be in towards the chest. And let's just begin rocking back and forth a little bit. Feeling our sacrum, so the back body, that big bone in the back body. Good. Let's begin drawing circles with our knees. It doesn't matter which direction because we're going to go both ways. So gently, instead of just going back and forth, we're bringing a circle into the lower body, into with the knees, switching directions whenever it feels good for you. Good. On your next inhale, go ahead and extend your legs out long and your arms up above your head. Do a really big stretch, super, super long, big stretch. Exhale, bring your knees back into your chest. Hands come to your knees. And gently allow your knees to just come over to the left, very gently. Your right hand can extend out to the side. Left hand can come to the outside of the right knee and thigh. That feels nice. Your gaze can be up towards the moon or out towards the extended right hand, whatever feels better for you. We'll just stay in this nice twist for a couple breath cycles. Your right shoulder blade should be on the ground. We don't want our shoulder blades off the ground. So if your shoulder blade's not on the ground, you can, unbend your knees a little bit, come out of the twist a little bit. All right, on an inhale, let's come back to neutral, and we're going to extend our arms and legs out long again for a nice big stretch. Reach, 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 and extend. Exhale, bring our knees back into our chest, hands to our knees. Bring the knees over to the opposite side. Extending the left hand out long, gazing over the left shoulder or up to the sky. Right hand can come to the outside of the left knee, if that feels good, or the left thigh. Gently, we're just going to inhale ourselves back to a neutral position. Extending our legs out long, our arms up over our head again, one last time. And exhale, bring your arms down to your side. Legs can stay extended out long unless you want them bent for Savasana, for our corpse pose. If it feels better for you to have your knees bent, feet as wide as the mat and knees resting in and together, that's a little bit more comfortable on the lower back. You can do that. If it feels good to have your legs extended out long, you can do that. Maybe you want to grab that blanket or pillow for a little extra cushion right now. Maybe you don't, whatever works. So make any minor adjustments you need to get more comfortable. Gently bring a smile to your lips, curl the corners of your lips up. Just give yourself a moment of appreciation for showing up this evening. And allow your awareness to sink back into your body. So we really want to stay present in our body tonight. We're going to do that nice body scan that I like to do after practice. So we'll start with bringing our awareness to our toes, our feet, and just check in with all the sensations happening there. Like, are they tingly? Are they fuzzy? Are they warm? Are they cold? Noticing our toes. Gently inhaling our awareness up to our calves and our knees. What sensations are going on there? Is there any way for you to release the muscles anymore, just a little bit, just ever so slightly, to bring more relaxation? On your next inhale, gently bringing your awareness up to your thighs, your hamstrings, your hips, your glutes, where women hold so much tension, where our sacral energy lives, in our hips, that soft spot, our soft belly. So much tension, tightness is held here. So check in, what sensations are you feeling? Can you release and relax your muscles any more than you already are? Do you feel your heartbeat? Do you feel sore muscles from all that awesome yoga we just did. On your next inhale, gently bring your awareness up into your belly, your chest, your shoulders, your armpits. What kind of energy is flowing there? What kind of sensations are you feeling and hearing? What do you think these might look like? Your eyes are closed. Just imagine what that energy might look like, what you're feeling. Can you allow the muscles in your chest or your belly to relax and release anymore? Feel like they're melting into your mat. Now guiding your awareness down into your arms, the biceps, the forearms, your hands and your fingers, especially the very tips of your fingers. What does that feel like to you right now? Are they achy? Are they vibrant? Are they tense? How can you bring more ease into your body, into your hands, into your arms? Bringing our awareness up into our neck, our jaw, our cheeks, our forehead, and out even through the top of our head. Are you clenching your jaw? You relax and release. Your forehead holding tension. How can you just allow yourself for a few more minutes to soak everything in, all the amazingness of who you are, what you've just done with your yoga practice. Maybe that smile comes back to your face gently as you think about that. And when your mind begins to wander, be here for a few more breath cycles. I want you to bring it back to your body, back to those sensations you were just exploring. Maybe you noticed a lot going on in your belly or in the sensations in the tips of your fingers. I want you to go back to that area, visit that space again, and keep your awareness there just a little bit longer. Gently, you'll begin taking deeper inhales and exhales, inviting more oxygen in, expanding the chest. You'll slowly begin moving your fingers and your toes, hands and feet, arms and legs begin to move and awaken. Eventually, you can roll onto your right side and stay there for a few breath cycles. And when it feels good to you, you feel nice and ready, push yourself up slow and steady, back in our cross-legged position. Bring hands to heart center. We'll close our eyes, just sink in. Let's take a big inhale through the nose. Let's sigh it out the mouth. Ah. Thank you, ladies, so much for practicing with me. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. I hope you ladies enjoyed that as much as I did. I'm going to hand it over to Jennie now, and she is going to guide us through a little self-massage for the feet, which is just going to make me want to go to sleep even more than I already do. So,
hi, ladies. Okay, this is the time. If you, I'm gonna talk and then I'll move it down to my feet so you can see what we're doing. But so this is the time that you want to get your towel. If you brought like a little towel, or if you have like a dish towel or something like that. The best way to do this, we're gonna massage the feet. We're actually gonna massage the feet at the same time. We're not gonna do one at a time. So I want you to sit in a butterfly. So like your feet will be kind of like kissing or looking at each other. And what I want you to do is take that towel if you have it, or even if you don't, that's fine. I just don't want to get it on my yoga mat. But it's also just kind of contains the mess that we're about to make on your feet. So this is when you should have that time. If you guys saw in our group that we asked you to bring like a little bowl of mud or a little bowl of dirt, or even if you don't have that, this is a time that you could use, like grab some lotion real quick if you wanted to, or you could totally do this without anything as well. You can just rub your feet kind of raw, basically skin to skin. It won't be hard. But we thought it would be super fun to get kind of earthy. And so I have a bowl here, and if you can see in there, I do have some dirt from my yard with a little bit of water in it. And I've been kind of stirring it and just making sure that it stays real nice and kind of mucky. So if you have that, now is the time that you want to get it out. And then I'm going to actually point my camera down. So I'll still be talking, but you're going to be looking at my feet, okay? And this is really just to help so you guys can see what I'm doing. So as you can see, my feet are together, and I just kind of pulled my pants up. I have an ankle bracelet, so I'll kind of move that. I also have toe rings, but I don't ever take those off. So, but if you have anything that you want to kind of just get out of the way, that you don't want mud to get into, things like that. And first, honestly, you guys, I just want you to touch your feet. I know sometimes we have a little bit of a it's taboo, or sometimes we're kind of like, ooh, our feet, but you guys, they do so much work for us. Like, can we just take a second to recognize how much our feet really do for us? And so I just want you to look at them. We did this with the hands as well. I want you to look at your feet, maybe notice, maybe if you have any scars, or like me, I have tattoos, or I probably need to repaint my toenails, and just kind of looking and opening them up and just analyzing, what do your feet look like? Are they dry? Do you have any scrapes from running out in the trees? Like for me, I was camping all weekend, so my feet are kind of dirty, and they are just kind of, also I was running around barefoot at the beach and all that stuff. So I just feel like they're a little weathered right now. So I just want you to analyze your feet. And then I just want you to give them a turn. So I want you to pull right here at the kind of right below the big toe. And I just want you to turn your feet open. You're just going to give them a little stretch. Oh my goodness. They actually kind of look weird like that a little bit. Like, did you realize that your feet could turn like that? Then I want you to just take your thumbs, and at the same time, I want you to push on that pad right there. Remember when we did the hands, we did little circles right here in the pads of our hands. I want you to do that same thing. And if you go right in between the big toe and the next toe, right in there are your sinuses. So if you have sinuses or allergies, or you feel like you're stuffed up, you can massage that little space right in between the big toe and that next toe. That space will actually open up your sinuses. And so that's kind of a little reflexology spot that you can kind of remember and really get in there. I want you to kind of put some pressure. Don't be afraid to kind of give a little bit of pressure to your feet. And I want you to work your way kind of all the way into that little pinky toe. You might have to kind of move your hands around a little bit, depending on how long or how big your feet are or how long your hands are. And I just want you to do little circles and pressure and pressure. Okay, now we're gonna work up to the toes. Same thing with kind of what we did with the hands, where I just want you to slide up into those big toes. So you slide up. Same thing with the middle toes, slide up and give them a little pinch at the end and go all through the toes. Little pinch at the end. All of them slide all the way up. Notice if there's any little cracks, like you feel like there's almost like little marbles in your toes or little popping sounds. Like I want you to really pay attention to all of that, because that is all just little tension and things that can be really released in your toes. And so I want you to kind of pull them back and then maybe push them forward. Ooh, you might get a crack every once in a while. You can even pull on them, pull out, grab the ends and give them a little pull. Just working on the toes right now. Okay, now if you have lotion or if you have that mud, I want you to go ahead and get some of that. We're gonna work into the meat of your foot here. So I have some dirt and I'm just gonna kind of like rub it into my hands. You can do this with some lotion also. And I want you to kind of smear it first onto the bottom of your feet. Might need to get a little bit more. You can always put on more, but it's hard to take it off if you put too much, just so you, that's how I always think of it with lotion too. When I'm massaging somebody, I'm like, I can always add more, but once you put too much, then you're kind of slipping and sliding everywhere. So as you can see, I got this awesome dirt on my feet and I'm just literally rubbing, you guys, just rubbing back and forth. All the way to the tips of the toes, all the way back to the heels. Connecting with your dirt, with your mud, with your lotion, with your hands. Even if you have nothing, you can definitely do this still. Move your hands up and down. All right, now right in here in that little archway, I want you to take your thumbs and give a little pressure in there. You're gonna feel probably some little crackles, maybe a little bit of pain. Some of you guys have like plantar fasciitis. Sometimes you can have a little bit of pain right there. Put a little pressure in there. Oh, it feels so good. You guys ever realize you can do this for yourself? Oh my gosh. I would just never do it, right? And just keep doing it. I want you to do about 10 passes just right there in that arch. And kind of try different spots and maybe even do like zigzags. You could do zigzags at the feet. You could pull down. You could push up. You can go cross and scrape open. Okay, now we're gonna move to the heels. So I want you to turn your hands like this, like up, up, like little claws. And I want you to hold on to your heels, okay? And right here is another pressure point, you guys. Actually, if you're pregnant or expecting, do not press this pressure point unless you, it's supposedly like an ejection button. If you're, unless you're trying to have that baby, don't push here. But that's actually something that you can do. So if you're like in labor or something, or you know somebody that's in labor, have a massage the back of their feet. Right here is an old Chinese kind of little trick that they used to massage the back of the feet. And they said sometimes it would just induce labor, actually.
Jennie, I have to say, I had cramps really bad one time and Mike he was rubbing like the back of my heels and that totally relieved the pain that I was having. That's funny that you said that. Woo, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's a really, really tender spot, and it's got something connected with the labor and prenatal kind of situation. We learned I'm prenatal certified, and we learned to not push those. We have certain spots that we're not really supposed to push on. But so if you're pushing right here, it's kind of right below your ankle bone, but right above your heel. You'll feel it when you find that little tender spot in your heels. And I just want you to hold that. We're just going to count to 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release slowly. And then now I want you to do some small circles. Give those ankles a little love. And if you can kind of squeeze your heels a little bit, that actually feels really good, you guys. We don't pay attention to our heels, and they're the foundation of your entire back body. I mean, they really are. Okay, so then right here in the bottom of the heel, right in the middle, if you have sciatic nerve issues, that is where your sciatic nerve ends. So what you can do is actually touch the bottom, and if you have a little ball right here in the bottom of your foot, you probably have a sciatic nerve blockage. Actually, that's a big sign for me whenever I'm massaging somebody's feet, and if they have a little ball right here in the bottom of their foot, they usually have hip problems as well, and they have a pinched nerve in their sciatic. It just never fails, you guys. The human body is so cool. And so that is kind of a little sign there. So if you ever also have like hip pain, you can come down here to your feet, to your reflexology, and massage right here in your foot. I kind of have to do one foot at a time when it comes to that, because I'm kind of holding my one foot and then massaging that little spot with my other foot. You might have to get some extra mud. Mine's starting to dry a little bit, so I'm just kind of keeping mine nice and moist, just to keep it nice. All right, so turn your feet up and let's massage quickly on the top of your feet. If you can see, I'm just literally taking my hands and just making little circles kind of right above my toes. Right there. You can even take your hands down and put them in between your toes, like almost like those things that spread your toenails so you can paint them easier. So go ahead and do that. And then just push a little bit with your hands. So if you take your hands and your fingers are in between your toes and you just give them a little bend. So you're bending your toes forward, or you can even pull them back or go side to side, move them all around, move your toes, but spread them out, because you guys, we don't do that enough. Our toes are constantly shoved in shoes, socks, all that stuff, and they just don't get spread out enough. All right, go ahead and remove your hands from your feet. And I just want you to give them like a roll and a wiggle, and just notice, man, how does that feel? How do your toes feel? How does the inside of your arch feel? How does your heel feel? Just give them a little love. Give them a couple extra squeezes. Tell them thank you for carrying you all this time. Now we can learn to love our feet, right? Instead of thinking, ew, feet, we can be like, ah, look how beautiful they are. All right, guys, so what I'm gonna do, I have a little bit of water here and I have this towel underneath, so I'm just gonna start kind of wiping mine and cleaning off my feet from all of that mud and dirt. And I've got a little bit of water here. I might just like pour some in my hands and just kind of clean it up, but I'll probably clean up most of it after we get off the call. But that's just kind of fun. And also, ooh, I used a little bit of water and that actually made it like real slippery. And so now I'm like kind of having fun with it a little bit. But awesome. Well, we have some more stuff for you, and I want to let Christen get over to card pulling, but I know she's probably got muddy hands right now. So just keep massaging your feet until she's ready. It feels good, you guys. You can even take both hands and hold on to your feet like this and go back and forth like this. That's really good for the arches. All different kinds of stuff you can do. Thanks for massaging with me, ladies. Hopefully that gives you guys a little insight on the body. I love bringing this to you guys. It's fun.
How are you
All right,
guys?
Kristen, all yours, lady.
Woo. Jennie, that was awesome. I hate feet, by the way. I really do. It's something that I've always struggled with. I have weird feet. I've embraced them as I've gotten older, but I appreciate actually doing that because I do not touch my feet ever. I tend to avoid them, like shower cleaning, and that's it. I'm so grateful that all of you are on with us. Did any of you guys get to see the moon tonight or yesterday? How bright was it? Was it colored? I like to journal about those things after I do the full moon gatherings, all the feelings that I have, the sensations, the yoga and meditation and massaging. Let's start pulling these cards. You guys, I'm gonna share something super personal. I told the girls and my sister already. Last night yesterday was my birthday. We went out to the ocean, Teddy and I, and for the first time ever, I was like really in the full moon under, in the water. It was really just a different feeling. Teddy and I ended up having sex. And it was the first time ever in the water. And if you guys haven't done it, you have to try it. It like recharged my whole entire being. I felt so empowered and just a different appreciation for each other. The first card we're going to pull is the card that is present. And it's the full moon in Virgo. It talks about, perfect, you are good enough. So many times we are the ones holding ourselves back from our true potential, thinking that we are not capable of doing the things that we know we are, just not trusting our bodies, and we are good enough. You are good enough, and that's our present. We need to remember that. Our challenge is the new moon in Scorpio, and that's work through your fears. Well, how hard is that always? I am a huge shadow work person. It's my jam. It is very difficult though. It is consistently draining. You have to consistently replenish yourself. So when you're working on the challenge of working through your fears, make sure you're doing something that's practical for you and also healthy. Working through difficult things is not always easy, although it's liberating at the end of it, or when you feel like you've completed or moved on from that thing. Remember that when you're working on those things, you really, 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 I can't stress enough, you have to recharge yourself, replenish yourself to push through the rest of it, because that will also hold you back. All right, our card number 3 is the past. And it's the full moon in Leo. Don't let pride get in your way. Oh man. It's hard to see outside of yourself sometimes. And I think when we have the new moon, it's a time for brand new beginnings. But at the full moon, it's like rebirth, you die. It's the end of your climax. And not letting our pride get in the way of moving forward to a new sense of being, a new sense of growth, a new path, whatever it is. We can let our pride get in the way. We have to let that stuff burn out at the full moon and move on to the new moon. I think those things are really, really important for us. All right. Card number 4 is going to be your recent past, and it's the first quarter moon. Your commitment is being tested. Yeah, I feel like it always is, isn't it? It's us against something, and I feel like we really need to reteach ourselves that it's a lesson to be learned for growth instead of thinking of it so negatively. And your commitment is being tested. And in these cards, I feel like it's speaking to reminding us that we have to love ourselves. And your commitment is not to somebody else first, but to yourself truly. And I think we are constantly being tested on that, because sometimes it's so hard to be authentic and feel like you can be yourself and not be overwhelmed. I put on this dress, took it off 3 times and put it back on, and I was like, nope, I'm just wearing it. It's what I feel comfortable in. It's what I want to be in. And it's like, if my boob falls out, my boob falls out. It's what it is. But we are constantly being tested to be ourselves, and that is hard. It's hard to worry about what people are thinking and what's going to happen, and just be you, be us. Card number 5 is the outcome if nothing else changes. And it's the third quarter moon, and that means adjustments are required, and that means we have to make some serious choices for ourselves to be able to move forward and progress from the full moon to the new moon. And those steps can be so difficult, just like we talk about working on, the shadow side. You have to replenish yourself while you work on those things. Anything that takes your energy, which is almost anything, you have to find a way to replenish that. So how are you going to adjust your life, your surroundings, your beings to make time for yourself? And maybe shower by yourself if you're a parent. Like I never get to shower by myself ever, and I don't mind it sometimes, but every night as well, daytime shower. What are you doing for you? How are you moving forward? What changes are you making to be the best you possible? Card number 6 is your path to the future. It's the North Node, and it talks about stepping out of your comfort zone. Man, it's hard. I feel like just like with the dress, it was like, nope, it doesn't matter. These people are here to hang out and share energies and experiences and, embrace our bodies and our beings. And sometimes it's difficult to be you and flow how you want to flow. Don't get stuck in your head. When Elika's like, figure out your own movement, it's my favorite part because I don't even care who's watching. I'm dancing in the kitchen and singing, except for I'm doing it all in my body. Just movements. I love that. And we have to get outside of literally looking at what people are saying, what people are thinking, because who cares? Who cares what you look like when you're feeling yourself? Nobody gets to tell you more about yourself. The disseminating mood, and it's taking time to breathe out and exhale. How many times do we go, and we just don't stop? It's like we forget to breathe sometimes. We just don't, you know what I mean? We lose track of time, we lose track of sense and feelings, and we have to step outside that and get grounded and feel the earth and take your shoes off and get out of your heels or whatever it is that you're wearing, and feel your body and feel your surroundings and be comfortable. And you have to take time to breathe out and exhale the negative energies to replenish those with positive. I feel like I can't stress that enough. To be truly who we are, we have to be consistently giving back to ourselves, not just other people. Really, we have to focus on us more, and we deserve it. We all put in so much work. Card number 8 is more about the situation, and it's the full moon in Aquarius. Show the world the real you. Man, I feel like the cards are getting real crazy today. Yeah. How do you want to be perceived isn't really the question with this card. It's how do you want to feel for yourself when you're in the shower and you're singing, or when you have time and you're in your home and nobody else is there. Are you dancing around the house in socks and underwear singing? Are you just sleeping and taking a nap? Like, what are you doing to get to that point? Are you showing the world the real you? Are you being able to replenish yourself and be out there and be fun and be active and not let fears and judgments hold you back? Card number 9 is your hopes and fears, and this card is the new moon in Aries, and it's time to take action. And I feel like when this card is pulled, it's usually us holding ourselves back from taking the steps to be us, move forward, find our dreams and our goals, and really figure out what works for the being that we are. And card number 10 is the final outcome. It's the new moon in Cancer, and it's that you and your loved ones are safe. And I feel like that card just always means like you're in a good spot, or you're getting to that good spot where you're starting to feel like yourself again, and you're starting to have the support that you need and that you deserve, and the people that are backing you are strong and caring and lift you up, and you step out of the people who are negative. Not only do you feel loved and supported, but you're able to give that back to other people. And I think as a final outcome of our lives, it's so important to be able to be in that position where you feel like you can give and you feel like you can take a little bit. Because I feel like so much we're so often to cut ourselves off from receiving the things that we need, even if that means we're not asking for it ourselves. And I feel like it's really empowering to get to that point where you feel comfortable enough to ask the people that you love and that support you those questions, those hard questions, whether it is support or just somebody to talk to or scream at, whatever it is. You guys are safe together. You know that those are your people. You're getting your crew together I love that. It's your soul circle. It's you ladies sharing this time with me. Ah, man, I kind of got the shakes from the cards today. I feel really shaky this time. And the last time that I pulled cards together with you guys, I had a lot of body sensations. It's been a really, really cool thing. I really think it's due to the change and rotation of, us presenting our artwork to you guys. And I love that Elika's starting in the beginning and we're getting relaxed and we're getting in the right headspace. And then Janine's able to take us to another place. P.S. Holy cow, I can breathe. The sinuses. That was amazing. Seriously, I'm outside. It's so humid here. It's so hot. It's so hot. It's like 100 degrees still. And so it's just like so stuffy. You guys, I'd love to hear thoughts about the card pulling. I also want to talk to you guys a little bit about the sturgeon moon. Sturgeon are giant prehistoric fish that can be ancient, literally ancient. And they, part of the reason why we chose the mud is because literally how they forage for food is stirring up river and lake beds. And they can get huge, like massive. You have to look at these look at actual pictures of them. They look like dinosaurs. It's super cool. And this moon is so full of just different energies. It's the second in Aquarius. So, we're at the 2.9 instead of the 0.01 that we were at. And man, I feel like the second chance aspect of it and the getting to where you want to be and just really taking in the energy from the last meeting that we had and moving it through this month made me feel so much more comforted, so much more empowered, so much more structured. Even just like the guidance moving forward was super cool. But I'd love to hear from you guys. We have a little bit of time, so speak and talk and tell us what you need if you need anything. I'm so grateful to share this time with you guys.
I loved this reading, Kristen. I was like, is she just talking to me? I was like, oh, no, I'm just kidding. But just the like stepping out of comfort zone, like just taking back ownership of like who I am. And it's so interesting. Like one of the, I think it's number 8, like feel like yourself again was like one of the lines you said. And like I have actually been feeling like since almost our last full moon gathering to now, like I have just felt myself just like steps towards like who I'm supposed to be. And I haven't really felt that before. It's like literally been the last month because I spent the last time at Elika's. I went on a vacation. I have just done like a lot of soul searching and a lot of just like really good work. And I feel right now like I'm about to just continue peaking. And so it was just really cool to get that reassurance. I think that's what I love about cards is like they just give you that validation sometimes of like you're on the right path. Keep going. Yes, it's working. Yes, you're doing the work. It's happening. So I loved this reading today.
The first card that you pulled about the one in Virgo with "You Are Enough," that one rang really true with me because I was having a conversation with my own mom the last time we got together, and I just told her sometimes I feel like I'm not enough, and she goes, "Don't you ever feel that way?" I said it's one of those things that I don't want to pick it up, like somebody's laying it down for me, but I said I don't want to pick it up because I don't believe it. So that was a great card for me.
I love that. I'm so grateful that you shared that. Both of you guys. I feel, man, I can't wait to show you guys all the cards in order to so you guys can look at how they're super beautiful. It's like a flowing map is what they look like, especially all together.
Am I unmuted? Yeah, I really like the challenge, the second card, New Moon Scorpio, to work through your fears. Because I feel like that's, for me, always my biggest challenge is whatever fear I have created in my own head probably, or have somehow like, owned that's not really mine, you know? So it's, and I'm just learning all of that. I'm just figuring all of that stuff out, you know? So it was nice to see that show up of, yeah, like that is a challenge for me to, you know, meet the fear and work through it and do the thing anyway. So it was nice to see that show up. And I like the final outcome, you and your people are safe. Like that's just, that was like a nice hug. That was really reassuring. And just knowing that whatever, as long as we're continuing to be true to ourselves and show up, like us and our people are going to be safe because we're doing the right things for ourselves, in turn doing the right things for other people. So yeah, it was good. It was great. I also, gals, I put a bunch of questions up before anybody went on, and then I turned my computer off and joined with a different thing. So all the good prompts that I typed in earlier went away, but I did just throw some other prompts in there really quickly. So we've got like, you know, 10 minutes left, I would say. So it would be a really great opportunity to make some of that mud. To represent kind of that Sturgeon-esque aspect energy that we were talking about, and get creative with it. Or if you don't want to get muddy again, like I got pretty muddy during our massage. So if you don't want to deal with that again, like maybe you just journal for a little bit. If you want to get creative and do that art piece, I think it's a good time to do that too. And I also know that we would love to keep hearing from people, what the cards meant to them, or if they felt an energetic shift, or what they've just been dealing with, or how, you know, they've been doing, or if they have questions or anything. So now is a really great time for all of that magic to happen. And these questions don't, the questions that I found earlier that I was hoping to use really talked a lot about falling in love with yourself and what that feels like to you, just even the concept of that. And is that uncomfortable for you in any way? And what about that is uncomfortable? And the idea of finding yourself really sensual. And even, you know, one of the questions was like, what is your reaction to the word towards like orgasm or sex or wet, or, you know, just, it's really bringing in the energy of the sacral. So our sexual being, where we literally can create life, but that's also where our creative artistic empowerment comes from. So it's really, you know, the energy that comes with this full moon. It's really an opportunity for us to, and this is really, I mean, I've been, you know, reading Glennon Untamed. It's just like learning all of this good stuff about our womanly power, and how it's been maybe not as accessible for us in culture. It's really enlightening. So I really like that this moon kind of correlated with all of that energy too.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you so much, ladies. I felt like the reading was really powerful, just like it was last month. And the biggest thing I keep getting is just to have that reassurance that this energy of push energy is doing it for a reason. And I feel like it's just way more intense this moon. I don't know why. Maybe because it's the water sign. But I mean, yeah, like it's just the Leo card spoke a lot to me. And then I can't remember what the card was that you said after that one, but I just remember like it felt again like what Jennie was saying. I felt like you spoke to me, right? So it's just remembering that we are in power and we are empowered, right? To know to keep going and to keep pushing forward, because that push is there for a reason.
The card that you were talking about is the first quarter moon. It talks about your commitment being tested. And you're right. I feel like all the cards were so powerful. There is so much more energy this full moon. And maybe part of it is just because I'm even more aware. I feel like doing this as a group brings so much more energy between all of us. And we're all just vibrations in different ways. So we're just taking in that, move forward energy and sharing it amongst each other in this circle. And I think it's really, really cool.
Thank you so much, girls, for everything tonight. Like these, it's always a learning experience every time I come to these gatherings, and I'm always, getting not just reassured by the cards, but reassured as a whole, right? So again, thank you so much.
Kim, I just read your message. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate that you are here today. I was freaking elated when I saw your name pop up. So I know it meant a lot to you to be here today too. So I'm really, really happy you were able to join us. And I'm really excited that the cards connected and spoke with you too. So really appreciate you being here. Hey, Christen, what was the seventh card? I missed that one.
It's the North Node. Oh, goodness. There we go. And that one is the purple card. It's step out of your comfort zone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I drew my sturgeon right on my porch deck. I just like took my mud and just like, so this is like, I don't know if you guys can see that really. Oh wait, there we go. That's supposed to be his tail up there at the top, and his little he's
I love
cute.
that.
I'll post it in the group.
Jenny, I think it's funny. Your mud was like really soft and smooth for you, and mine was like planting soil and sand. So mine was like gritty and rough to touch. So I feel like it's cool. We just, everywhere has different experiences, no matter what we're doing. It's all different and unique for each one of us. And that's also really cool.
Well, ladies, it is almost 9:30. It is 9:27. So it was hard to believe how quickly these evenings really go. I think we would like to close with just meeting on the mat again, to do some deep breaths together and have a nice closing mantra. So if you want to just make your way back to your mat, if you're not there already, find a nice comfortable seated position. Give a little wiggle in your sit bones. Close your eyes. And open your heart and mind to this juicy, juicy Aquarius full moon mantra. I open my heart to the wild within. She is fearsome to behold and beautiful beyond words. She is the love of my life and my true essence, which I shall never renounce. I honor my wild womanhood, and I declare myself free of anything or anyone that would dare dream to keep me from embodying her. I am free. I am ample. I am my truest love. I am. We'll close by taking 3 inhalations through the nose and open mouth exhalations together, beginning now. Thank you, ladies, so very much for spending some of your precious time with us this evening. The light in us sees and recognizes the light in all of you. Namaste. Enjoy the rest of your night, ladies, and I'll see you online soon, okay?